This is Matt Russell, and welcome to the DailyFX Forum.
So here are the four pairs that I will be discussing this evening: the Euro Pound, the Aussie Kiwi, the Pound Swiss, and the Euro Swiss. So let's go ahead and pull up the charts. The first chart is the Euro Pound. If you recall, during the past several reports, I've been waiting for a move back down to the former resistance line, which should now act as support near the 87 figure. But if we zoom in a little bit here, you can argue this is a doji candle right here. So we might set up a short trade here. I'd have to have the risk be incredibly tight. The high of this candle is about the 88.30 area. So with prices now at about 88.08, maybe another 10 pips or so, where we can only risk maybe 20 pips on the trade, on the short trade. And again, the target would be down to that 87 figure, which is the previous resistance line, which should now act as support. But again, my confidence is low. That means the risk should be incredibly tight. The next chart is the Aussie Kiwi. Not much has changed here. This is the channel that I'm now using for the pair. If we zoom in a little bit, I want to show this. You can argue, or you can state, that this is an evening star reversal pattern. So moving forward, right now I'd have a tentative bearish bias against the high of that candle, which is about the 23.25 area. But again, my confidence is very low. So ideally, what I would look for over the next 24 to 48 hours is possibly a move to this very short-term daily resistance line, and maybe use that as a point of entry. And again, placing our stop just above the high of this candle, of the doji candle right here. Let me get the exact print. The high of that candle, 23.25. So that, again, we want to place our stop maybe about the 23.50 area. So again, but keep the risk incredibly tight. The next chart is the Pound Swiss, and not much has changed here. As I mentioned during yesterday's report, trying to using the low of this candle, which is 71.56, as a reference point. It looks like we might have had a double bottom as prices came down to that level yesterday. Actually took it out by like a half a pip or so. So right now, again, I'd have a slight bullish bias against that low, and with prices now beneath the 172 figure, this is a good opportunity in terms of keeping the risk very small. I have low confidence in this trade idea, but the risk to reward is worth it, because if this does pan out to at least be a tradable bottom, we should get a few hundred pips on the upside here, again, while only risking about 30 or 40 pips on the downside. The next chart is the Euro Swiss, and not much has changed here, kind of just going sideways here. Still waiting for prices to come down and test the longer term support line formed by the mid-October low here and the late March low right here. Again, my name is Matt Russell. Thank you for listening, and please stay tuned for a preview of the DailyFX forums. I want to go ahead and formally welcome everybody to the DailyFX forum. And I want to explain a little bit about the forum and the wealth of information that you can obtain from the forum, and how to go about doing so, how to find the things you want. So I'm just going to dive right in right now. And this is DailyFX.com, and this is usually how I navigate my way towards the forums. Obviously, you know, it really depends on each individual how they access the forums, but this is how I go ahead and do it. I go DailyFX.com, go ahead and click on the forum on top, and this brings you to the DailyFX forum homepage, and this highlights the most recent posts with the subject. So if you see anything that you're interested in, you can obviously go ahead and click. What I like to do is click on the forums tab like this, and go ahead and view the forums in the normal, typical way that forums are set up. And here you go. There are a bunch of threads down here. And I'm just going to go ahead and go directly to the forum, the video you just viewed, where you viewed it. So let's go ahead. This is the DailyFX Instructor Tips Forum. Identifying trades with DailyFX, that's me, and go ahead and click on the most recent post. So this is where you are right now viewing the video, although the video will be the video beneath this one that you're watching right now. So normally when I'm on the forums, and what I would do is just scroll up to the top. Certainly you can check out any of my previous videos, and you know, especially if I did mention them in the report or in the video that you're viewing at that moment. And what I will do is go ahead and click on the forums, and then look for the forums that I like, you know, that I have interest in. One of them would be the Euro Dollar forum, and this, again, it's really up to each individual trader as to exactly how they want to use the forum. Personally, what I like to do, the first thing I do is I'll go to the Euro Dollar thread, I'll go and click on the latest post, And what I'll do here is, and again, I just want to really emphasize this point. It depends on your exact mindset when you're viewing. And me as a trader, I have some experience. So what I do and how I personally use the forum is I go through and I'll read what people are saying about the euro, what their trade ideas are. I certainly try to maintain my own individual objectivity, and I really don't pay much attention to what other traders are saying in terms of my trading. I'm not going to certainly see something on a forum and then go jump into a trade, but what it will do, it will open my eyes to certain trading opportunities, maybe a certain line or a certain time frame that I haven't looked at before. So that's one way that I personally like to utilize the DailyFX forum. But certainly for newer traders, there are plenty of topics that you can go over. Let's say you might not be well versed in terms of certain currency pairs that you want to learn about. Scalping, you might not know what Elliott wave is. You can go ahead and click there and see exactly what you can understand, what you might not understand, and then certainly feel free to ask questions about any of these topics that you have. Maybe the carry trade, maybe you have some questions about that, or the sentiment, the SSI, or the latest economic news, FX programmers, the webinars, MT4. Any questions about active trader, you can go ahead and click on those threads. So again, it's very free, very open, and there is a wealth of information here and just waiting to be utilized. Again, this is Matt Russell. Thank you for listening.